Welcome back to another very special episode of the Baseball America College Baseball Podcast. My name is Jacob Rudner, and we are live from Charles Schwab Field in Omaha, Nebraska after day 3 of the College World Series. Another action-packed day from the greatest stage in college baseball. We had Louisville, Arizona playing the first game, and they were take a big win, 8-3 over those Wildcats. Sorry about that, some technical difficulties right there. And then we saw what Coastal was able to do behind Jacob Morrison, the outstanding ace, a big 6-2 win over a high-powered Oregon State team, which allowed them to advance to the College World Series semifinal. So if you're joining us live on YouTube right now, make sure you go ahead and post your comments in the comment section. I'll be able to see them live on the show, and look forward to being able to answer any questions you might have. But while we're waiting, let's talk about today's games. Some great action from the College World Series today. That Louisville, Arizona game, to me, was kind of a testament to just the weirdness that we've seen from this College World Series, especially on the defensive side. You come into Omaha and you think that these teams are going to be able to play their best baseball on this stage behind me. And so far this week, what we've seen, I think, is some pretty surprising lapses in defensive success, which I would not have expected coming into this. And especially today in that Louisville, Arizona game, Arizona looked like it had a handle on that contest. I mean, they were playing quite well for the most part, maybe not necessarily scoring the way that they needed to be able to, but surely they were playing well enough, on the pitching side to have been able to get a win up until that 8th inning. And I just want to go and run through exactly what happened in that 8th inning. It got crazy. We saw a hit. We saw an error. We saw, here we go. Let's find it. So Jake Monroe opens the inning with an E6. He reaches on an E6, then an Eddie King single, Tage Davis single to load the bases. Then Zion Rose singles home a pair to score 2 for Louisville. Rose steals second. Garrett Pike reaches on a 4-2-5-1 fielder's choice that sees Davis get thrown out at the plate. Then Kamayu Neighbors hits an RBI single. Rose blows through a stop sign on that play to be able to score. Pike on the next play inexplicably breaks for the plate, but was called safe after Arizona closer Tony Pluta drops the ball on a would-be tag. Neighbors goes from first to third during the rundown. Alex Alicia bunts Neighbors home on the next play. Then we see a single and a stolen base from Lucas Moore. Matt Klein finally singles home Moore, but gets thrown out while jogging to second to end the inning. It made the score 8-3 Cardinals. And that was the difference in the game. Just a complete lapse in skill, in defense from an Arizona team that I thought, for the most part, had a chance to steal a victory. So, I was surprised to see that from a Chip Hale coach team. They had otherwise been very good in this series. And he basically came out after the game and didn't sugarcoat it at all. He said basically that Arizona let the game go. They blew it themselves and they had an opportunity to win. And simply were not able to capitalize. So Arizona is the first team eliminated from the College World Series. Now there are 7. Louisville will play Oregon State, which lost to Coastal Carolina on Tuesday in an elimination game. If you're just joining us now on YouTube, welcome. And if you have any questions, please make sure to send them over in the chat. I can see them live on the show. We'll post them on the air and make sure to get your questions answered. So make sure you do that. We've got a birthday in the background. Happy birthday to whoever is celebrating today. Let's talk game 2 while we wait for any questions that might come into the chat. I thought that this game was exactly what we were expecting from Coastal Carolina. An absolutely dominant pitching performance. You recall Peter Flaherty, my co-host on the podcast, and I, prior to the postseason, had said repeatedly that this Coastal Carolina team had a chance to make the College World Series final purely on the back of its pitching. It didn't necessarily need to come out here in Omaha and be prolific on offense. If they were able to get onto the mound and throw the way that they had all season long, they were going to have a chance. And tonight we absolutely saw that with Jacob Morrison, who gave them 7 2/3 innings, struck out 7, allowed just 1 run on 3 hits. He is now the leader in the country with 10 games of 6+ innings and 1 or fewer runs allowed. He joins Paul Skeens as the last pitcher to be able to do that in a single season, 10+ games of that caliber. Unbelievable performance from Jacob Morrison. And it was exactly what Coastal Carolina needed after, like I said a couple minutes ago, they got off to a little bit of a weird start in Omaha. They threw Riley Eichhoff in game one, which was pitching off of what they had done with their normal postseason routine prior. They threw Cameron Fluke in relief after Fluke had pitched on Friday nights for them in the regional and super regional round. And then tonight, you're looking at keep Jacob Morrison their ace and knowing quite well that he would need to come into the game and give his team lengthy innings. Without that, I thought that would really spell disaster, even with a win for Coastal Carolina, which would have a very lengthy path to get back into the College World Series semifinal or the final if Jacob Morrison wasn't able to give them the start exactly like he did tonight. And we're talking about somebody who's now really starting to emerge as a early round draft candidate. 6'8" right-handed pitcher. He's sitting in the low 90s, can locate multiple pitches, which we saw him do tonight. He walked 0 batters over those 7 2/3 innings. 79 of his 109 pitches were in the zone. And so, an impressive performance and a necessary performance for the Chanticleer ace. Kevin Schnall, head coach for Coastal Carolina, said after the game, this is why we have a guy like Jacob Morrison, to be able to put him out there and basically trust that he's going to be able to pitch deep into the game and propel this Coastal team past anybody, really. And against this Oregon State team, incredibly impressive. I thought for a very long time that Oregon State had the firepower offensively to be able to do damage in this tournament, especially in this ballpark, which plays very deep. Oregon State is versatile in its ability to score. It doesn't have to hit home runs. And tonight we saw them become essentially a caricature of themselves. I mean, the second run of the game gets scored in the 9th inning. Jacob Morrison retires 16 straight batters after giving up a home run earlier in his outing. And the result is what you see. Coastal Carolina advances to the semifinal. Jacob Morrison, another outstanding start in what's become a fantastic season. His ERA has now dipped below 2.1 on the year in over 100 innings. And again, just looking like somebody who is an early round draft candidate, certainly. If you have any questions, make sure you submit them in the chat. Got a couple more minutes here on our live stream, the Baseball America College Baseball Podcast. We love answering your questions. While we wait for them, let's talk about what's upcoming here. I mean, you got tomorrow, Murray State is going to take on Arkansas in a game that certainly does not look great for Murray State. We talked about it on last night's show. That's a team with a lot of moxie, a lot of heart. But at the end of the day, obviously a talent disparity between them and the Arkansas team that they're going to be taking on. Arkansas is going to be starting Gage Wood on the mound. We've talked about it on several different podcasts over at Baseball America. Gage Wood has one of the best fastballs in the country. And Murray State, great offense, especially for a 4 seed. Jonathan Hogart, their leadoff hitter, is the best, if you're going to measure it by home runs, leadoff hitter in the country. And so do they have a chance? I would tell you yes. Would I bet on Murray State tomorrow night? Absolutely not. I think that this is Arkansas's game to win. And then you look at the winner's game, another fascinating matchup. UCLA set to take on LSU. LSU surely going to be starting Anthony Ianson, their number 2, who would be an ace on almost any other staff in the country in that game. And for UCLA, an opportunity to prove that they're able to get past a giant with their homegrown talent. 37 of 40 players on that UCLA roster are homegrown, true freshman recruits. Most of their starting offensive lineup are sophomores. Rock Chalowski headlines that group. And if they're able to continue to produce offense the way that they have all season, relentless base hits, consistently moving guys over, being able to run well in terms of stealing bases and put pressure on opposing defenses. They bunt the ball well, which I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of myself, but they've made it work, even including here. We saw them successfully bunt in runs in their opening win over Murray State. And so I expect that game to be competitive. I think if you look at the betting lines, it suggests that has potential to be very lopsided. LSU, the only team now in the field, if you look across all betting markets for the most part here, that has under plus 300 odds to win the College World Series, and they've played just one game. And so I do think that this has a chance to get ugly, but we haven't seen games get ugly so far here in the College World Series. Everything has been low scoring. If you get out to a 3-4 run lead that's looked almost impenetrable so far. Pitching staffs in the College World Series have ERAs, I think right now, of 3.96 across every team in the field. So runs are coming at a premium. We are not seeing a whole lot of home runs. And one thing I'll add too, teams that are homering are yet to win a game. It's the teams that are successfully moving their runners around with base hits and stolen bases and relentless offense that are capable of moving forward. And we've seen that throughout the week. So A lot to look forward to tomorrow. But for today, that's going to do it for this episode of the Baseball America College Baseball Podcast. We encourage you to head on over to baseballamerica.com/college to check out all of our written content and come back right here tomorrow, roughly the same time, 11:30 midnight Eastern, after the final game is over for our quick rapid analysis. It'll be myself and Peter Flaherty tomorrow, live from Omaha. But for this episode, that's going to do it. Again, my name's Jacob Rudner. We thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.